Hi everybody, I'm Jim Shore. Today I'm going to spend a little time with you all, my friends in the UK. You know, I love the UK. You know, we have a house in Ireland actually, so we spend quite a bit of time over there in Ireland and in England. I've been up to Scotland and in Wales and so forth, and I just love the place. It's just enchanting to me, you know. I love the people, and I love the landscape, and I love the history and all that sort of thing. Well, part of the history is something I'm doing today, celebrating as Pancake Day. Now, we don't call it Pancake Day over here. I think y'all call it Shrove Tuesday, Pancake Tuesday. It's the day before, or we call it, some of us refer to it as Fat Tuesday, because it's the day before Lent, and I think traditionally it's about, well, Lent's 40 days, so it's 47 days or so prior to Easter Sunday. So there's a sliding, you know, window of when it actually happens. I think it goes all the way back to when the early Christians were called to before Lent to decide on giving up something and also going to confession. And apparently when you were dissolved of your sins through confession, that's considered being shriven or shrove, I think. I think that's the genesis of the word. Anyway, I'm making pancakes. So, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I've mixed up flour here. A simple thing, everybody knows how to do this. Over here, a lot of people do it with pancake mix or with Bisquick or something like that, which is perfectly fine. But I'm kind of old school, so I like to do it, you know, from scratch. So, it's very simple. The ingredients are basically flour, a little bit of sugar. Now, I can tell you exactly what it is. I've got my recipe. I'm doing this for 18 pancakes. So if you were to do 12, of course, you'd cut it down, or 24, you just extrapolate. But for 18, I use 2.5 to 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1.5 spoons or tablespoons of baking powder. If I'm just using milk and not using buttermilk or sour milk. If I'm using sour milk, I also include soda. Let's see, and then a pinch of salt, or, you know, what would, I guess, be about maybe a half teaspoon of salt, couple of eggs beaten, and about 2 1/4 cups. Y'all use a different system, but you can, you know, translate that, of milk, and then 3 tablespoons of oil or melted butter. I combine them really because if you combine oil with your butter and you're cooking with it, for one thing, it doesn't smoke. It keeps the butter from smoking, and it just seems to blend better. And then I'm going to divide it up into 3 separate things so that I can add different stuff to it. I'm going to add nuts. We've got some walnuts here. You can use pecans. That probably works a little better, but I got walnuts. I'm going to do blueberries, big fat blueberries. And something that y'all probably don't do, I'm going to add bacon to it. So anyway, it's just a matter of mixing stuff up. Where's my milk? Did I not get the milk out? Hang on. Dominique can't show me on camera all the way because I've got ripped jeans on, and that embarrasses her, so. Yeah, okay, so dry ingredients, what did I say, a cup and something of milk. Okay, here's That's a cup. And about a quarter that. 2 eggs beaten. 1 egg. 2 eggs. Beat them up slightly. Okay, now I've already put the baking powder and the salt and everything in there, so that's fine. Okay, go on this. Butter. Now you can use a mixer if you want to, or you can simply use a whisk, which is what I do. Don't overwork it. Just make sure it's all combined. Just to where it's not quite so lumpy. Let's add a little bit more milk. Okay, that's about the way we want it. There we go. So I'm going to divide that up into 3 bowls. You know, we've done this, all my life we've done this kind of thing. Now, I think one of my fondest memories is when my dad would cook kind of like breakfast for dinner, you know. Sometimes it'd be ham and eggs or something like that, or ham and eggs and potatoes or whatnot. But every once in a while we'd do pancakes for supper. And I used to absolutely love that. You know, Dad was a really good cook. For one thing, he was a cook in the Army, so during the war. So he did a really good job. Okay, I'm gonna take just a minute here and just see to it that these nuts are chopped just a little finer than they are. I've got a chopper, but once again, I'd have to go in there to get it. Run the risk of having my torn jeans show, so this is a nice I don't know, tradition to have with your kids. If you do this kind of stuff with your kids, they'll never forget it. They'll think about this stuff, you know, for all of their days, and they'll pass that along to their own. And it's one of those things that it's just nice. Now we call the time before Lent, we call it Fat Tuesday, and it's the same reasoning that pancakes are popular on that day is because back in the old days when they had to keep things that would go bad, like lard or eggs and stuff like that, they would figure out a way of using it before Lent. And one of the ways they would make up all these pancake batters using fat and eggs and so forth, but they called it Fat Tuesday because of that. Okay, so I know you all have some interesting traditions over there. Of course, you know, most of us in the States here are descendants in one way or another of a lot of you all, you know, European. In fact, my family actually came from Switzerland. So we're sort of the German side of Switzerland. And I guess some of our traditions are from that. Some of the dishes that we cook to this day are very reminiscent of German cooking. Okay, dividing it up. Put a third into that. If you'll notice, it's already starting to work. See the little bubbles and stuff? The baking powder is reactive with that. And see, the baking powder contains a form of acid that is reactive. That's why you when you're using baking powder, you don't have to necessarily use a lot of soda along with it. And if you have something that, I mean, if you're using something that's got acid in it, you don't need so much baking powder, but you need it if you don't. So anyway, here we go. Blueberries. Put some of them in there. Put some more in there. As you can see, beautiful, right? Okay, that. Okay, and this we'll do the nuts, and I'll tell you, just for good measure, I'm going to put some raisins in there too. Raisins and nuts work well together. And then in this one, let's see, let me mix that up. This is a great kitchen, by the way. Good for entertaining. We have big Christmas dinners, big Thanksgiving dinners, which I guess you all don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but we do. And that goes back to our history. And Easter and that sort of thing with this big family we've got. And this is a great kitchen for that kind of entertaining. Bacon. Who doesn't love bacon, you know? Okay. All right. Okay, now if Dominique, if you will come along with me. I've got our griddle nice and hot. Got a little layer of grease in there, and as you can see, it's ready to go. Okay. So now what do I need? This. I think this will do. Maybe I can just do it like this. Okay. All right. That's a nice big one. That's a good one. Batter should be actually a little thinner than this, but it is what it is. All right, now won't take that long to cook. As you can see, we're cooking. It'll start making little sort of holes in the things, and you'll see that's when it actually gets ready to flip. And then we'll put it on a plate. Hang on just a second, I'll be right back. Oh yeah, what she's showing her right now is a collection of some of our plates. We've got a lot of nice English, trade pottery and our flow blue and that sort of thing. The top plate actually was given to us by the great folks of Haddon Hall in Holland. That is a piece of antique delf, and that was a wonderful gift from them, and we cherish it very much. Just about ready to flip. So this is a great stove. It's got this built-in griddle, but if you don't have that, griddles are available that you can just span the burners. Beautiful. There we go. Now you don't want to pat them down. You want them just be like that, and they'll cook in just a few minutes, and it'll be ready to. Now, you all, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you refer to syrup as treacle. I think. I'm not sure about that, but I think that's true. We have syrup. Now, one of our favorites is maple syrup, but we won't use that. We'll use, this is just regular, syrup, which is, I actually prefer this to maple syrup, even though maple syrup is a little fancier. We put syrup on it. Some people put lemon on it and different things, but see how nice this is raising up? Yeah, if it was a little thinner, it would cook a little more even. Okay. All right, well, playing the waiting game. So, when I was in England the last time, I was up near the Hadrian's Wall up in the north part. And I'd go over to Scotland, which was right across the border, and we found a little pub up there that was in a little village called Langham, and there several days, and it didn't take us long to become almost like a regular, and we would go into the pub after we got finished with our work and so forth. And the folks there were so friendly and so warm and inviting, and it was wonderful. And they would want to come up and they would want to have a conversation, which was fine, except for the fact that they were speaking Scottish, and I could not understand a single word they said, but we got along just the same. Okay, these are 3 absolutely beautiful pancakes that will help us celebrate Shrove or Pancake Day. And yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna cut one of these open. Put a little syrup, and Dominique and I, in just a minute, we're gonna have pancakes for lunch. Let's see, which one do I want? How about a little bit of the blueberry? Show you what this thing looks like. See that? Blueberries. Probably too hot to eat. Anyway, that does it for today. Look, it's been an absolute delight being with you all. We need to spend more time like this together, Just do things, converse, talk about stuff, talk about the family and the traditions and memories and all that sort of thing, because I've got an awful lot of memories that I've generated just being over there with you all. And once this travel thing is all squared away, we'll start being over there more and more in person, again. And then at that point, I look forward to seeing all of you and being with you, face to face. Until then, just know that I love you all, and God bless you all, and I'll be with you again real soon. So until then, bye-bye.